welcome back to another episode of Around the Block with GoodBlock. Thanks for joining us today. On this episode, we're keeping it in-house. I'm CJ Walters, head of product at GoodBlock, and I'm chatting with Nathaniel Moss, our systems administrator,
Hello.
and Will Hill, GoodBlock's lead developer. And we are going to give you all the juicy details about what's in the newest release of dStor. We've made a lot of interface and UX enhancements, and we want to share some of that with you today and talk about some of our plans for the future. Before we get started, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification icon so you can get notifications when we have new content. So I'm really excited to introduce Will Hill, our lead developer. I got to work with Will on a different project a few years ago and knew that if I ever had the chance to work with him again, I would jump at the opportunity. He's been a developer for 25 years and the last 6 or 7 specifically working in blockchain. He has delivered projects for the UK's Channel 4 TV, Cancer Research UK, the United Nations, and Bitcoin ATM. He joins us from the wilds of Scotland. And he came to GoodBlock in the fall of 2021 and delivered our Scott Kelly project and is now helping us push dStor to the next level. Thanks for being here, Will. So tell us, Will, what's your favorite podcast?
I'm a big fan of Around the Block. As soon as it's out, my phone pings me. I wake up and I'm right on it every time it comes out, however often that is.
Yeah, every week.
Every Wednesday.
Every week.
Every Wednesday.
Every
Check it out.
Wednesday in the middle of the night, I wake up to listen to Around the Block. Just because you guys are on it, CJ and Nathaniel, you're the best. I love you both.
Thanks, Will. That's awesome.
I love you both too.
I love you too, man. We have had a website for dStor that was built, maybe 2019, 2018. I'm not even sure. It was before my time.
2019. Yep.
And we had a user interface that was really bare bones and functioned, but didn't have all the functionality that we would need as we were building things out and adding new things. And with Will's experience, it just made sense for us to build a new website and a new user interface that would be able to expand and grow. So let's talk about that. Talk about why the new UI.
The UI was very much needed to give us a more professional look and feel. And I think between, CJ and myself, we went through very meticulously looking at each aspect and saying what made sense to the user and what didn't.
Yeah. So the original UI, it's still existing as of this day right now. It's what people are using. The original UI was built primarily and as our alpha sort of interface. As we were building out the back end and all of the functionality that dStor is going to provide, we didn't want to waste time on building a UI that we figured would probably end up having to be rebuilt as we build out new features. So the UI, how I felt like, okay, this is just so we can test the functionality and start using it and get some beta testers in there. But it was never going to be the final UI. So as we started adding more features, it just made sense that we could plan this out and make it look really cool and more user-friendly.
Without it, we wouldn't be able to have done what we have done now.
Correct. Right. And we parodied a lot of the features that we had and used the same API calls and developed new API calls off of that as well, too. Just because of what we needed at the time, making the new UI.
I think it's quite normal as well to have that kind of evolution from, initial prototype and just get it working, change things quickly, break things if need be, but get the core concepts working and then later refine them. And I think that refinement process is something that we'll continue with. I don't think now we've got this new UI, that's it, finished. We'll find better ways of doing things, and ways that make more sense as users start using it and giving us feedback. And as we add more features, then we'll need to make space and ways for people to access them.
And we want to do continual integration too. We want little patches, even though we've had this one big ball of not release. Once this hits, we're going to have a pretty steady release schedule with patch notes and Telegram, and just constantly updating it.
I'd like to get down to weekly releases initially, and then get down to daily if possible. I think for developers, being able to push value to customers quickly gives you the most excitement, the most reward for your effort.
Right, I agree. It's been tense waiting to release this.
It has. And the testing for this kind of thing is not fun, let me tell you. We have so many updates that we've been pushing from our testnet to our StageNet, and we're so close. I'm hoping that by the time this video comes out, that our users will actually be looking at the new UI. So that's pretty exciting. We'll talk about what users can expect from the updates in the UI.
Okay, so in the UI, once users have requested an invite and they've been accepted, they'll be able to log into dStor. They'll be able to see their files. So there's a new file browser. We've got folders at the top of the page now and files at the bottom. You can click on a folder to navigate into it, and again, the files underneath will change. We've got a new search bar where you can search for the files or the hashes. You can order the folders by name or by how recent you've uploaded them. There's a couple of different views you can choose, so you can organize a view how you like it. We have a new pulse section where you'll get notifications about what's happening with your account. There's a new user admin section where you can set your billing options. So for the first time, we're going to be billing users. You have different funding methods, so you can add different cards to your account. You can see your invoices. You can see your usage, so you can actually see, how much you've spent on which files, down to a very granular level. You can even select the file, and then you'll be able to see what costs have been accrued from downloading the file, for storing the file, and for uploading the file. So the billing is a big new section. And then the account section, we've got a new security page where you can reset your password. We have notifications where you can configure how you get your notifications, whether it's just via email or whether you get it just in the Pulse or email and the Pulse. We have a new API key section where you can create API keys and you can delete them. That's the new account section.
It's pretty robust, and it looks so nice.
Very professional.
Good. I'm glad you like the look of it. It certainly feels nice as you navigate around. There isn't any of that jarring moment where you're like, oh, what's this? How's this happening? It's all very expected. It's all, you've seen it all before in other large platforms, and I think it feels comfortable to use. There's no kind of shaky moments.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I'm really excited to get it out there to our current beta customers and get their feedback and begin incorporating that. Again, this is always like the thing we are constantly trying to improve and test and iterate. So this is a big one. And then going forward in 2023, like Will mentioned, going to be changing the way we do pushes to production so that it's small, not big, and continual. So I'm excited about that. One of the things that we are working on is the old UI was not even I would say one of the things that wasn't is the ease of uploading and downloading files. It's kind of like you had to be trained on the UI. and now it's pretty self-explanatory. There's a lot of information about how to do it, and it's gone from being confusing and not super intuitive to being really clear and intuitive. So I'm excited to see how people respond and look at it and use it and going forward.
Guessing that feedback from the users is going to be really important, because so far internally it makes sense to us and we know how it works. But finally, when we get a lot of people using it, we're going to have people, and this and this, and that shouldn't be like that, or I didn't expect it. And that will allow us to start questioning ourselves, saying, maybe we do need to change the way we do something, or the order needs changing, or the naming needs changing, or how we describe it needs changing. So I'm excited to get real feedback from real people.
No ivory tower company here.
Right.
You're listening.
Yeah.
So, how do we put your files that we upload on dStor into your website or your game?
There'll be two ways of doing it. One will be through the UI. You'll create an account for your game, and you'll have credentials that you use just for your game. It'll be separate from your own personal account. You'll upload the files that you want to be visible in your game. Once you've uploaded them, you'll get a hash for them, and that hash can then be used in the game, and you'll be able to reference your folder and the files within it from your games. That's one way, and the other way will be via the API. If you create an account, again, you can then create an API key. With the API key, you can then log in, you can upload a file, and you can download a file. So whether you want to do it through a UI or programmatically, dStor will give you both options. And in the future, I'm sure we'll have different APKs where you'll be able to download small integration files and be able to hook into dStor's API a lot easier.
It's fantastic. Let's talk about storage nodes and what changes are going on there. Nathaniel or Will, can one of you guys talk about that?
Do that one. He's the king of storage nodes and all things decentralized.
Yeah, so storage nodes have received a very big improvement. Our configuration now automatically gets from the gateway all the other peers, whereas before that was a real manual process that the node operators had to go in and do. We're trying to make it so node operation is completely hands-off for our node operators. Maybe not for me. I like having my hands in the pudding, but the node operators shouldn't have to worry about anything about other than adding more storage to the device and making sure that it's online and still connected to the internet. And that way it can be part of the peer share and get all those files that are being downloaded. And the more nodes we have, the faster our network is, the quicker it will be for you to access the files that you're looking for. So we've added that kind of functionality.
There's a new sign up on the website as well, haven't we? So anyone who's already got a dStor account and is enjoying the experience and wants to take it a step further and become a storage node, they can now request an invite on the website. We get to review it, see what kind of storage they can offer. I don't know exactly how you decide that, but there's a button now where you can say, yes, I want this person to be a storage node, and we can bring them online fairly slickly, right? They can manage their own storage node as well.
Yeah, before it was kind of a catch-22 that you needed to have a node before you could make a node, before you could have a node.
Right.
Now we've streamlined that process so that when you need to make the node. We have documentation for how to set up your node and then get the keys that you need to drive it.
Exciting.
Fantastic. And then the other really big thing that we're excited about, maybe not everybody else is, but I'm excited about it. I know our biz dev team is excited about it, is that we have billing coming out. And this has been something that we've been talking about for months, and every time we get gotten somewhere, we get somewhere, and then we go, oh, wait a minute, this means we need to do this, and then it has turned into a lot more hours and time and testing than we had originally anticipated, and such is the such is the nature of things. But this is rolling out in the next few days, and I'm really excited about that. So Will talked about it a little bit about the interface and the way for people to add their billing method, and I'm excited to see I've been seeing it and playing with it and testing for weeks now, but I'm excited to see actual bills getting made and dStor getting to a point of generating revenue, which is a big hurdle that we had to get to in order for us to really effectively onboard node operators and be able to pay people. So this is an exciting time for us.
Yeah, it's good that we're able to close the loop now between node operators getting paid and people getting billed.
And the billing's fair. It's not like we're gouging people or charging ridiculous fees. I mean, as soon as you hear, oh, now they're starting billing, it's like, oh, you know, how much are they going to charge? When you look at it, you'll be like, ooh, okay.
And a lot of people might not even get a bill because it is so affordable. And right now, the way we're doing this is you won't receive a bill until your bill is at least $10. So you'll see charges accruing in your account, but you won't receive an invoice or be charged until you reach that threshold. So it still might be free for a while.
It takes a lot to reach that threshold. You know, I think an average user, roughly, you know, kind of like myself as an example, I reckon I'd probably take 4 or 5 months of, you know, heavy-ish usage to get to $10. It's not like you're going to be watching every, you know, penny and every download that you encounter.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. In fact, when we were doing testing, it was pretty funny because we were like, all right, we're going to have to set the cost to be 10 times what it is because
and even then,
we're not getting
anyone
any
have
bills.
an account that's reached the threshold? No. We need to test this. Somebody needs to have one. I'll start downloading files, big ones.
Yeah, so that's been pretty funny to see. But I think our customers will be pleased that that dStor is in fact a smoking deal. So let's talk about our roadmap a little bit. There's a few things that we can talk about that's coming down the pike.
I think that we've been like chomping at the bit trying to get crypto represented in our billing as well. And now that we have the billing platform set up, we're accepting USD right now via credit card, but we're going to start accepting various different cryptocurrencies like Telos. We're going to start the process of having multiple gateways so that you can get even faster to your files. More automation for onboarding our nodes. So right now, currently, we have to make you a subdomain so that you can have your node. We're automating that. That should be done pretty quickly. And the process of adding more nodes. You as a node operator, if you're interested, if you have extra storage space that you want to make money on, we want you to be able to use that. So we're reaching out to you we're going to do a big reach out to get people to join on. And then the big one is that our gateway is going to be put on a Ryzen 7 7950. So it's like the fastest processor right now. I think nothing faster. So you're going to get blazing speeds as fast as it can possibly go.
Awesome. That's really exciting. And that does, we're almost ready to wrap up here, but I do want to put out there that we are ready to start onboarding some node operators, more node operators and developers. If you are interested, we have a list that's getting a little dated for node ops and devs. So if you're interested in refreshing that, definitely check us out. Check out the dStor channel in Telegram And you can always reach out to Leah and Sean for, I think primarily Leah is the one.
Leah's the contact. Yep.
Yeah, at Summerskin on Telegram, and we're also hiring. So if you're excited about that and excited about what we're working on and where we're going, you can definitely hit me up, cj@goodblock.io, and send me your resume.
Yeah, we're looking to grow the company.
And if you need to find the Telegram link, it'll be on the bottom of the new website in the footer on the left-hand side. Click it.
That's right. And we'll include it in the description of this call. All right, now it's time for BS of the week, or crypto BS. What is that? Block stuff. Nathaniel, what do you have for us?
So Signature Bank is no longer going to support transactions under 100K from crypto exchanges like Coinbase. It looks like this company, which has been really crypto friendly, is now trying to pull that back a little bit. And I think that's going to upset a lot of their customers.
When you say a lot, what kind of percentage are we talking about that's going to be affected?
So Binance has said that this only affects 0.1% of their customers. So that's not a lot of their monthly average users. So the answer is you just find another bank that will support lesser transactions and go with them.
Should we be running around panicking, screaming, ripping our clothes off?
While it is kind of a withdraw from being so crypto friendly, because before Signature Bank said that they would support any transaction, this does seem to be like a pullback on that support, but no, I don't think that it should be anything terrifying. There are lots of banks out there that really are into crypto and really want to take your money and exchange it for coin. So, and they have a lot of coin themselves.
So are we talking about just like people who have an account on, say, Coinbase or Binance, and now their bank will not accept deposits from?
Well, sure. Right.
Is that what we're talking about? Because
exchanges need to work with banks to be able to change the asset into a different asset. So if you needed to exchange your asset into like US dollars or euro, then you need a bank that has that fiat currency. They partner with the crypto exchanges to make that link possible. Just like we have Omnidex for exchanging tokens in the crypto world, we need those same kinds of links, banks, to support the fiat currencies of various countries.
So nothing to freak out about unless you happen to be
if you're a Signature customer.
Signature customer.
I would change banks before the 1st February.
So we don't need to drop Binance and start the cancel culture on Binance or anything like that.
Not on Binance, maybe on Signature Bank. And I'm not for cancel culture. So if you like that bank, please use that bank.
Okay. Why do you think they did that? Like, what are they trying to achieve by putting that 100K limit on? Is it because the crypto people have been trying to scam them, or like transactions have been going wrong, or people have been putting in transactions and then claiming that they didn't and they were drunk or something? Like, why the move?
Maybe it was expensive gas-wise. The cost of actually doing small transactions is much larger than the actual transactions themselves. Visa had the same problem when it was getting going. It had like 3 and 4% fees when Visa was first coming up, and now they're much lesser and only for the businesses. I expect it's kind of the same kind of thing, that the exchanges, they charge gas to do these exchanges, and it costs a lot.
Well, I know that Signature hasn't put out a statement saying anything about this, but FTX was one of their clients.
Mm-hmm.
And their deposits with Signature amounted to less than 0.1% of the bank's overall deposits, but the relationship between the two appears to have caused Signature shares to drop almost 20% in November. So that might be why. Might have something to do with it. Circumstantial evidence, not,
Oof.
not proven, but it is looking a little
The signs are there. Yeah.
So that's an interesting side of things, but
I've never heard of Signature Bank before. Is it a common company in the US?
I've never heard of it.
Never heard of them.
Nope.
Must be. It must be for, I don't know, if their deposits, I don't know how much FTX had at Signature Bank or pretended to have. I'm not sure.
I don't even know who's behind it.
Yeah. Well, that's our BS for the week.
Some good stuff.
And now it's time for Moss's Market Minute, where he has 60 seconds on the clock to give us the week's market news and non-financial advice.
Investing. Why do people invest? Investing is an effective way to put your money to work and to potentially build wealth. Smart investing allows your money to outpace inflation by increasing in value. The greater growth potential of investing is primarily due to the power of compounding and the risk-return trade-off. Investing is changing from one asset class to another, be it cash or stocks or crypto or land. Before changing from one asset to another, the smart investor will consider, will this asset grow faster than other assets over the lifetime of my investment? Investors should also be willing to sell investments as well as they buy them. When investing, set goals or benchmarks for yourself to continue with that growth. If the investment isn't meeting your goals, then change assets. There's so many out there. Smart investors are always willing to shift assets into others that are growing faster. That's my Mark Minute.
Well, that brings us to the end of today's episode, and I want to say a special thanks to Will for being here. We couldn't do this without you, and we are so happy to have you on the show. I know it's evening time for you, so thanks again for being here.
It's been great fun.
If you want to learn more about the Web3 world, check us out wherever you listen to your podcasts. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification icon to see more videos. If you've got a person or project in mind you'd like to see featured on the show, let us know in the comments or tag us in Telegram or Twitter or whatever. All the links are below. We'd love to hear from you. So see you next time.